Hi, this is Melindy from Paris Living. I hope everyone is doing well. Today, I wanted to talk about the best neighborhoods to live in Paris. So, first of all, that is a very subjective question. People have different preferences. Um, but there's a distinction that needs to be made beforehand, which is people who are going to actually live here and people who are going to buy a place and use it when they have vacation or maybe later on when they retire. So that makes a big difference because if you land at the airport and you want to be straight in the heart of it, then you're going to want a more central neighborhood, which is going to be, more animated, more lively, a little bit more noisy, but you're probably willing to put up with that. Whereas if you're going to be living here all year, you might want something more residential, more quiet, and have access to central Paris and all that it has to offer. The Paris metro system is fantastic. I'm from New York, and the subway system is something else. Paris metro system is really a network. It's not like a grid. It's a network. There you can't really walk very far without passing a metro station, and you only really have to wait 2 to 3 minutes for the next metro to come. So public transportation is really good. You can cross Paris in about an hour. So everything's very accessible. What my clients who are buying a pied-à-terre or an investment property that they might use once in a while, they tend to go for the Marais. So for the third, the fourth, and parts of the 11th that border on the third. So there are a lot of cafes, boutiques, good food, Place des Vosges, and there's the ambiance is great, and you're very close to the Seine, so you can walk across the Seine, walk down the quay. You feel like you're in Paris, and you really are in the heart of it. Whereas sometimes I have clients who want to be in areas more like the 17th, where there is a beautiful park called Parc Monceau. And the metro stations there are Villiers and Courcelles, and the architecture around there is gorgeous. It's all Haussmannien, so high ceilings and fireplaces um, and parquet. So that kind of classic Parisian apartment, um, and uh, and it's quieter. But there is a little area right next to the park called Rue de Lévis, and it's a pedestrian street, and it's like Rue Claire in the seventh. It has like all of the like small eateries, but also like the fromagerie, the boulangerie, the butcher, etc. So all what we call the commerce de bouche. And so that neighborhood is actually very popular because all of the architecture there, all of the buildings are stunning. And it's very, very, it's on a great metro line, which is the line 2. It goes straight across the Paris from Étoile, so that's the Arc de Triomphe. And then it goes straight across, it hits La Chapelle, which is Gare du Nord, where people can get the Eurostar, and goes all the way to Nation, where you can hook up with the line 1 and go out to Vincennes, where the Bois de Vincennes is. So those are the places that most of my clients want to be. Some of the people who prefer Rive Gauche, the 6th is a bit maxed out. It's just too expensive. It's really hard to justify buying something there unless money is just no object. The 5th, there are opportunities there. There are a lot of students, and there are some places to avoid because, like, there are a few streets where there's just too many bars. But otherwise, the 5th has some good opportunities, and then the 14th, the north of the 14th, which is like Domfrère-Rochereau, Mouton du Vernet. Again, those are really quality neighborhoods, good shops, restaurants. There's a street called Rue Daguerre, which is like Rue de Lévis. It's a pedestrian street with all the commerce de bouche. So those are, good, solid investments, nice architecture, nice quality of life. And then if you go into the 6th, like I said, around Saint-Germain-des-Prés, it's just not worth it. It's so expensive. It's kind of, like I said, it's hard to justify. However, in the southern part of the 6th, going up from Gare de Montparnasse of Rue de Rennes, there are also some more affordable options because part of the 6th borders the 15th. And so in that part of the 6th, there will be you'll get more value over there. And you don't really want to be that close to the Champ de Mars and the Eiffel Tower because it's constantly swamped with tourists. Unless that's your thing. I mean, that's fine. The 7th also has some really beautiful streets, Avenue de la Bourdonnais, Avenue Rapp, but Rue de l'Université and a few others there was a huge American presence because of the American University. So sometimes you feel like you're not in France. Again, some people kind of want to be in a little Anglophone bubble. Some people don't. That's, again, totally subjective, but it is very expensive. The 7th is very expensive. The 6th is very expensive unless you go south. In the 6th or the 7th, if you go south, it gets more affordable. And if you go in the 5th as well, if you go towards the 14th. So those are the areas that my clients prefer. And in the next video, I'll talk about the worst places in Paris, which I can probably rattle off in a few minutes. But I guess you'll just have to wait. So see you soon.